had an opportunity. I hope you all had an opportunity to watch the YouTube video that I sent over, and I hope you had an opportunity to read the article. Obviously, most of you kind of saw everything that was going on with Silicon Valley and that whole piece, because I want to make sure that we know kind of how to, when we listen to reports, I don't want us to just listen to what they say. I want to listen to sometimes what they don't say. Like, I want us to really, get an ear for that and really trying to say, okay, Lord, what is being said right now? Okay, so now what I'm going to do is play just a little bit of video, then we're going to come back and have some discussion, because I'm going to give you what I think, but I want to hear what you guys are thinking and what you're hearing first, because that's pretty important. All right, so let's listen up.
Alarm outside headquarters of Silicon Valley Bank in Santa Clara, California today.
They just came out and told us that the bank is shut down.
SVB, the 16th largest bank in the U.S. with $175 billion in deposits, is now the biggest American bank to fail since the 2008 financial crisis. Its customers are primarily businesses and investors in the tech sector.
The root cause of the failure here was a sudden and significant increase in interest rates, which that part of the job of a bank is to manage interest rate risk.
Earlier this week, SVB disclosed it took a loss on the sale of bonds due to rising interest rates and announced it would sell shares to shore up its balance sheet. Its stock price plunged and customers rushed to take their money out. The FDIC now stepping in, telling customers they will be able to access funds by Monday, but the guaranteed amount per depositor, $250,000.
A heart-stopping moment of this bank is done.
Ashley Trenier is the CEO of healthcare startup Farmbox RX. Unable to access her money today, she fears she could be out more than $10 million.
$250,000 isn't a ton of money to us when you're talking of 8 figures that's in the bank currently.
Concern over today's collapse of SVB drove Wall Street lower. The banking sector alone down more than 4%. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen.
There are recent developments that concern a few banks that I'm monitoring very carefully.
The immediate concern, the cash burning startups who have millions in SVB and may not be able to access the money they need to pay bills or make payroll.
Deirdre, given what happened today, how much concern is there about the banking sector overall?
Lester, at this point, the issue seems contained to this one bank. SVB was so heavily focused on these startup tech companies that its business model put it in a risky position that the major banks don't face in the same way. Lester?
Deirdre Boza tonight, thank you.
All right, let's talk about that a little bit. What did you hear? Unmute. What did you hear?
Hi, Dr. Jules, Natasha.
Hey.
Hi. And so what I heard was that I heard a couple of things. One of the things that resonated with me was the CEO of Farmbox. She was concerned that she was only going to recoup $250,000, but she had like 8 figures in that one bank. So that was concerning to me that she didn't diversify her finances. Another thing that I heard was that also the bank didn't diversify their finances. They were mainly backed by bonds. So that is mainly what I heard. And I think that was what mainly caused the fall.
Okay. Listening to that, what would you say, you being an investor, what does that speak to you? What are you thinking? Because they said something that I thought was really interesting. Oh no, the bigger banks aren't going to be impacted by this because this is mostly startups. Any thoughts there?
Hi, Dr. Jewel. It's Janice Milo. Well,
Hey.
they had mostly startup tech companies. They had no real stability. These were all companies that were startup. They had no proven record. And so it's like you're giving money out for startups, but these people have not really, proven themselves in business. So, you have startup, but what is sustaining your company, your bank?
Okay, so
That
now
makes
let me ask you, okay, so let me ask you this, because some of these startups are real viable companies with 8 figures in their balance sheet, right? So you as an investor, what are you thinking in terms of like, okay, I heard all this, the collapse is happening. I know the wealth transfer is happening. I know this is gonna work for my good. Any thoughts on that?
Well, you put a lot of money out with the startup and you're not getting all that money back, as quickly as you are putting it out. So once you put that money out, they're paying you back, but you're not getting all of it. So sometimes it's almost like you're putting more out than what you're getting back in.
Okay, okay. Thanks, Janice. I appreciate it.
Hi,
Okay,
Dr.
somebody else.
Jewel.
Ah,
Hi, Dr. Jewel,
Hey,
Dr. Samantha. Listen,
hi.
this made me wonder if this was a setup or a strategy against the tech companies, because the regulators have wanted to debunk, to take control over tech companies, and especially those that are associated with cryptocurrency. They putting in all the regulations, and I was like, okay, now you're attacking the small tech the technical part was the resounding thing. And I'm like, why just the tech? Why couldn't it just be a small mom and pop bank? Why did you have to zero in on that? So it just made me wonder in the bigger picture if it was, a strategy behind that. Plus, I was looking at some of the movement of cryptocurrency, with the whales. And I'm like, I said, okay, I wonder. I don't see the articles. I haven't heard anything, but it just made me wonder.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. We need to be thinking about these things. Okay, somebody else. Any thoughts?
Hi, Dr. Jewel. This is Christy Oak. Hi,
Hey,
everyone. Good afternoon.
Christy.
How are you? The one thing that stood out to me that I always hear in all of our calls that we always talk about was that the banks only insured up to the 250,000. And I know they always say like read the fine print. And the fact that the banks are only insuring that. It was just like that kind of came to light because we always hear that, but it actually is showing true right now.
Very good. Now, here's the thing. The FDIC said they insure up to 250,000. If there is anytime there is a bank run on any company, is that company likely to be able to pay out everything if there's a bank run?
No.
No. So even though the FDIC technically insures it, they probably did not, do a stress test for everybody. If we got to pay out, $250,000 times 5,000, maybe it's 250,000 times 100, 200, 300, 500, 1,000, maybe 2,000. But if you go into the thousands of people, that's the thing I'm not so sure about, in terms of if they're going to be able to pay it out. So I really think that the FDIC is going to come back and say, we've never had a collapse of this magnitude since 2008. Though we were planning on doing it, we're going to have to come out with some sort of long-term, payment plan to pay the people back. But again, if you had 250, and this is why I don't think we need to have more than $250,000 in the account. I just had this conversation with a couple whales a couple weeks ago. The other thing, even though they said it's not going to impact bigger banks, think about this. Is it really possible for a smaller bank that's still a very strong bank not to impact bigger banks? Because this is going to impact the economy at large. First of all, if they can't meet payroll, people are going to lose their jobs. If people lose their jobs, that means they can't pay their bills. Products, services, all their overhead expenses, their insurances, liabilities, all that stuff is now impacted because the money that they were using to pay those bills suddenly just disappeared, right? So now this is where this becomes, I think, a really big deal. And I love crypto as an asset. I think we still need to be investing in crypto, Bitcoin and Ethereum in particularly, but I am on a serious mad hunt to make sure that each of you gets at least minimum one investment property by the end of the year. Because when you look at real estate across the board, you're looking at ROI that's coming in, no matter if the bank collapsed, no matter if crypto goes down, if crypto goes up, it doesn't matter what's going on. And this is why anybody that's serious about becoming wealthy, you have to have real estate in your portfolio. It is not an option. You got to have it in your portfolio, and you got to do it now. The timing is now. Now, and so I think the other banks, they're saying right now, JP Morgan, Wells Fargo, these other banks, I do not think that, Silicon Valley is going to be the only one. It'd be nice, but I think the ripple of impact is going to be, I think it's going to be quite a bit. And then we even saw a couple of weeks ago with Bank of America, we saw, they were having money and, issues, money going out of the account and things like that, and trying to figure that out. Now, remember, everything about wealth development is timing. Everything about investing is about timing. Is digital real estate still a good option in the metaverse? I mean, I still own a bunch of property there. I'm not saying don't grab one, but I'm talking about physical real estate. So I'm glad you asked that question, Katie. So I'm not saying don't grab, a couple of properties. I probably got about 30 in there, but I'm talking about physical real estate. And the reason I'm looking at even my portfolio on real estate, even though I liquidated a lot, I still kept some. And I'm looking at, the cash flow that's still coming in from that. From that real estate. I've got some land. So what we've done, I got a call 3 months ago in November from a good friend of mine who is very good friends with another mutual friend. And he said, hey, he really wants to talk to you about you coming over to his company as a network marketing company, as nutrition. I said, hey, I'm not interested in that. I'm not really doing network marketing anymore, but really proud of what he's built. I think is phenomenal. I'm not interested. So he kept calling. He said, well, no, he wants to do a financial division. So I was like, okay, I'm praying about that. Now, there were a few of you that came to Detroit. If you came to Detroit with us a couple of years ago, it was at the beginning of COVID, March, April, and we literally hit the streets. We went and looked at properties. We talked to contractors. Some of you were even able to put in offers on off the mark real estate. Some of you might have bought real estate. And this is what I found, that when you do real estate and you're helping to mentor somebody in real estate, a real estate conference for 2 days, amazing, right? 3 days, amazing. 1 day, amazing, right? Those things are amazing. But the reality is when you come back home and you get ready to do the work, you like, wait a minute, I got a question about property taxes, or I got a question about gentrification, or I got a question about, the energy in that particular city, or I got a question. Like there's tons of questions that come up when you do real estate, because there are done tons of things that you don't always foresee happening. For example, with one of my tenants now, I had a tenant, this girl walked through the property. She loved it. She was ready to go. She paid her security deposit and she paid her first month rent, which is traditional. I had a contractor go in there and do a couple $1,000s of work because we had to do an eviction with the last girl that was there. She hadn't paid her rent in like 6 months, which again is a part of it. So anyway, I had him do this work. She paid, and then a week later, her mom came in and saw the property, and next thing she knows, she wants her money back. She wants to get out of the property. So now I have to either give her the money back or get my attorney to deal with it. So again, there's just different nuances. We ended up, long and short, we ended up giving her money back. I made her wait a week because I was just trying to dig through the story. And then what I said, forget that. I don't want a regular tenant anymore. Let's put Section 8 in there, because Section 8, I think, are some of the best tenants to have because of their consistency. So in the meantime, so that's that. So then I'm like, okay, I'm ready to buy apartment buildings because that's where the real money is. So now back to my friend who reached out to me back in November. So he kept calling. And so finally said, hey, we want you to talk, Kenny wants you to talk to him. And I was like, I don't know why Kenny just didn't call me, because we have a relationship and I had already talked to him. So I don't know why Kenny called me. So anyway, I finally talked to Kenny. I was like, Kenny, what's up? He said, Jewel, I want to launch a financial division with you. And I said, okay, so I'm listening because I'm really close, Samantha. But then it was like, okay, let me hear what he has to say because he's talking finances. So he goes, I want to do a financial division, everything that you do in investing, and we'll be partners. And this will be a launch, brand new, and you'll run this thing the way you run it. I said, okay. And I said, well, I would definitely want to have credit. I said, because because I literally, and I've been talking to you all about this, I've literally been saying, okay, I got to get everybody that I love that is connected to me, that God has given me a voice with, I have to get their credit together, because making money in real estate is not about how much cash you have. It's about how much cash you can get, other people's money, right? So Kim and I, as I think Mill mentioned, are doing something next month, and I'm doing it with a couple other brilliant ladies. And I was talking to Kim, and she was just saying how, I never spent a dime of my own money doing real estate. Her first property was $18,000, and she said that was, all credit that I used. And she said, and so every property that we've gotten since then, we just use credit, you keep building credit with the bank. So let's just say the bank says, I'm going to give you $50,000 for this. You go out, you buy a house, let's just say for $40,000, you take $10,000, to do fix ups or whatever. So now you owe the bank $50,000. You put a tenant in there, you start getting that $50,000 cash, home cash flow, and you use the cash flow that's coming in to pay the monthly note with the bank on time. You do that for 6 months, then what happens is they're like, bet, we trust you. We gave you $50,000. Now we're ready to take you to $250,000. And then you go and you buy another property, maybe for $100,000, right? And then you do that for a couple months. And now the bank says, we trust you. You've done really good. We've given you $250,000. Now we're ready to give you $1 million. And you keep doing this. And this is how you build your portfolio. So Kim was saying, we have almost $1 billion in debt, but we have 8 figures coming in every single month from all of our properties all over the world. They have 6,000 units, mostly apartment buildings and senior citizen homes and things like that, that is generating that income. So now they have a great relationship with the bank. So anytime they see a new project, they can take their ROI that they're bringing in every single month from those properties, have a great property management company that can manage all those things so they don't have the headache. And now the cash is just coming in every single month, and they're not looking to sell. This was the other thing. She said, we're not looking to sell. We're looking to continue to add, because we know one thing about real estate, even in a down market, it is going up. Now, back to my conversation with Kenny in this financial education piece, I said, I want to get everybody's credit together. I said, I want to find a credit company that can do that. I want everybody to be able to have a credit analysis so we can know exactly what's going on and get that credit together within 90 days. Once the 90 days happens, we get you over 700 plus credit score. Now we can apply for the loan. We've got a couple banks on. One is a Black bank by the name of Bernicia, phenomenal. She can do investment properties. She can do main properties. She can do refi. Like, the girl's killing the game. So we got the banks, we now got the credit company, and now we got the real estate educators. When I tell you, these educators are bad to the bone, because this is where a lot of people, yes, Stephanie, buy and hold, this is where a lot of people get in trouble. If you look at, and I love these guys, so there's no shade towards them at all, because I love them. If you look at like, Grant Cardone, or you look at like a Jay Morrison, who I have a tremendous amount of respect for, they have what you call crowd funds. Those crowd funds, and you can go to their real estate classes. And again, no shade towards them, because I think what they're doing is great. But what I'm saying is this: for the average investor that invests in an entity like a crowd fund, where you have hundreds and thousands of other investors, what ends up happening is when that money comes to you, by the time they get their profit and they divide it and they send you the check, it's il poquito, it's very little, right? I did this a couple of years ago with Jay, because I was just proud of him being a Black man and what he was trying to do with Black Wall Street. And I invested $10,000. Again, this is not bad. I'm just teaching you right now. Gave $10,000. I don't know. I probably received $20 over the last 3-4 years, right? But here's the thing. And if I had to do it over again, I would have, because I wanted to invest in what I believed, you know what I mean, believe that he's doing, but it wasn't for a profit standpoint. It was just like, I just believe in what you're doing, because you're never going to make money in an entity where there's a crowd fund and there's a ton of investors, right? But what happens is the small guy is looking at the big guy, and they're chasing the dream. They're like, I want to be a part of Grant Cardone. I want to be a part of, you know, whoever that they feel like is that real estate guru, not really asking themselves, what is going to be my ROI on this? Because if I give you $10,000 to go out and invest in whatever properties you have, maybe it's 50 properties, maybe it's 100 properties, and that sounds great, but when you look at the ROI, how many people do we have to split it with? So what I'm really interested in, what God has called me to do, and a lot of you to do, is I want you to be the individual owner. Right now, some of you might want to partner with a sister, a friend, maybe somebody in the club, 2 or 3, but you really don't want a whole lot of investors on a real estate project unless it's huge. I mean, it's got to be really huge. And then even if it's really huge, we still got to look at, like, what is that ROI going to be? So for example, if you're looking at, like I'm about to buy a 9-unit apartment building. So this 9-unit apartment building is probably, it can bring me in if I do 3 units. And this is one of the things that I learned from Phil, who is also a real estate educator on this platform. If I take this 9-unit and I put, 3 units, I make Section 8 to pay my mortgage, because my mortgage will probably be around $5,000 or $6,000. So I'll use Section 8 to pay the mortgage, but then I'll use the other 3 or 4 properties and I'll make those short-term rentals, right? Because of the short-term rental downtown Detroit, I can get about, probably $4,500 a month, right? So that'll be my extra and beyond. So what am I saying? We're going to be teaching you how to structure these deals. Now, some of you will start with just a 1 house, because if you've never done it before, it can be a little intimidating to say, that I'm about to come in here and buy an apartment building. Like, I'm glad that I started with a bunch of just one, single homes, a bunch of single homes dealing with all the issues, because now I'm like, oh, I'm a big girl. I'm ready for the apartment building, whether it's a 3-unit or 5-unit, a 10-unit, a 20-unit, a 30-unit, because once you kind of get your feet wet. So what we're endeavoring to do is get everyone that comes into this financial educational program, we're going to make sure your credit is together. If your credit is already together, then you don't need that service. Then we can get you funded. After we get you funded, we're going to you can decide what city you want to buy your investment property in. Of course, you guys know I'm from Detroit. I have a great team in Detroit. So we'll be doing another meeting in Detroit. Doesn't mean you have to buy there. If you want to, you can. I'll be doing another meeting in Chicago, and then a meeting in Atlanta. But you literally could live wherever. You might be in New York, you might be in South Carolina, you might be in Pennsylvania, you might be in Massachusetts. I don't know where you are, but we'll be able to educate you on how do you find the best deals in that area. I like lower to middle, because even during times of recession, many people will downgrade. So as a landlord, you're always going to have property. Now, I think that this is very important that we move with a sense of urgency in this. It was interesting because tonight about 5 o'clock, Dr. Francina Norman, some of you all know her, powerful prophetess, called me. I was finishing up a call. She called, she said, call me right away. I called her back. She said, Jewel. And I said, oh my gosh, the word of the Lord. And she basically said, listen, the money is moving now. Timing is everything. The time is like now. And so she said, you got to educate like you've never educated. You got to move swiftly like you've never moved. And when I tell you everything that she said, it was just already resonating. The fire was already on me. I was already like, okay, I got to take as many people as I can, because during this recession, because what's happening is liquidity globally, not just Silicon Valley. We see it happening in crypto. Liquidity, the window is doing this. So the squeeze is happening, right? But now this is the other thing that's happening. Even though it's driving interest rates up, real estate is coming down. So the timing in which you move And investments is everything. Every time I have made $1 million, thank you, Lord, I sense the presence of God right now. He always made sure that I was at the forefront of a move. Because if you miss the timing, now this is crazy. I was talking to Kenny earlier today and he said this to me and I was like, ooh, that's good. He said, and we were talking about a mutual friend, a move that we had made millions together back between 2007 and 2011 together. And then he went on and he did another venture in about 2016. He said, I talked to a mutual friend and I told her, she said, I can't see what you see. Like, in other words, you excited about this, that, and the third? I'm not excited. He said, he told her, let me be your eyes and hold my hand. I said, ooh, that's strong. So as I'm talking, some of you might be like, ooh, Jul's excited tonight. Ooh, I don't quite get which, you don't have to. All you got to do is say, I know that God has called this woman. He has marked this woman. He has anointed this woman. I know that she is a financial prophet. And I know that when it comes to the timing of these kinds of things, so what happens is God begins to give us confirmations, promptings, indicators that now is the time. And when I say everything in my life has picked up and moved, and so when I was in Houston, he flew us down to Houston. I flew down a core group that I knew would be ready to move. Because see, some of you, God is getting ready to cause you to, like, in other words, He's not going to take you from the front. Like, sometimes people got to know A, B, C, D. Sometimes He's going to throw you into X, Y, Z. And you just got to say, I'm going to go to X, Y, Z. And then I'm going to go back and pick up A, B, C. You got to know sometimes that He's not going to always give you everything. The other thing you're going to have to be really careful of, Stacey, is some things you are not, now, this is not for everybody, but whoever this is for, catch it. There are going to be some certain things that there will be no thought into it. It will be just action. There are some moves that I have made that there was very little thought. It was action, because what was I looking for? I was looking for the witness. I was looking for the unction. I was looking for the time to go. I was looking for the prompting. I was looking for the time to move, strike, right? Because it's in you striking. And so this is what he told me, which was really powerful. Donette, he said, his mutual friend, he said, I told her, let me be your eyes. He said, and I went on to make multiple millions of dollars. He was doing strong 7 figures every month. He said, and do you know that person has never been the same? He said, it was 2 people. It was her, and it was, he named another mutual friend of ours. And he said, and I both look at them today. He said, and my heart breaks for them. He said, because they did not make the move. I'm not telling you that. This is not like a scare tactic, none of that, because you know I don't do all of that, because at the end of the day, y'all gonna do what y'all want to do. But I'm telling you right now that we have a serious window. Now, the other thing about this financial educational platform, and I'm gonna give you all an opportunity to be a part of it. The other thing about this financial educational platform is that we are at the very beginning of it. Now, let me say this, we added a network marketing component to it. Okay, it was already there. The network marketing component is already there. And so my portion of it is the financial part. And then he had a nutritional part. And I'll tell you, the name of the company is Tava. Some of you might have already heard of Tava. If you've tried the products, just put some ones in there. But basically they have like 7 main products, like a detox weight loss tea that's really, really good. I'm about to make mine now because it's really good. It really cleans you out and it's smooth. They have an organic CBD coffee. They have a multivitamin. They have a mood enhancer. They have collagen. So they have a couple things like that. And so we can use that because I need everybody to be healthy too. But this financial educational part, when I say we about to move like this. So if you are any kind of builder, now, some of y'all are not going to want to touch the team building part. Some of y'all are going to be like, I am not touching the team building part. I am not interested in the team building part. Don't do it. But some of you are like, no, but I do know I got to track on that investor side. I know that I need the good credit. I know I need the funding. I want to do 100% financing or at least 90% financing. Like, I know that I need to track, because I know I got to make moves. This cannot be a year where I just heard here, and didn't act. So now if I've been given the tools, right? Because once you got the tools, then it's just time to go. You see what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell y'all, like I told y'all 1,000 times, your honeys will catch up. Some of them might be like, great job. Some of them might be like, hold on. Sometimes you gotta share and then don't share. You better use some wisdom. But you better know how to strike. Because I'm telling you now, and I've seen this, and I'm not making this up. I've seen this 3 times this week within the last 4 days, where women that are quite close to me have not trusted their financial instinct. They trusted their husband's financial instinct. And I said, I don't know how many times I got to say this. They did not trust their own financial instinct. And so what happened was, when the money was not moving like it was supposed to be moving, they imploded. I'm ready to leave. Wait a minute. Wait, why? Well, because if you would have opened up your mouth, or if you would have trusted your instinct, or if you would have told yourself yes, if you would have respected your yes, you could have respected his no, and he still would have benefited. But what happens is his no became your no. And so now when everything don't shake like it's supposed to shake, he ain't a good man, or this, that, or the third, or da-da-da-da. We're like, girl, you could have been down the street and around the corner, and you could have been schooling him on how to do it, but you didn't trust your own voice. You didn't trust your own instinct. You didn't trust the leading that God was giving you. Because when God was talking to Esther, he wasn't talking to King at the same time. He was talking to Esther. So she had a responsibility to obey the unction that was on her life. You see what I'm saying? So some things he's not going to get because he ain't supposed to get it, because God talking to you. You see what I'm saying? It's certain things that God will talk to my husband on that he ain't talking to me, and vice versa. So I got to trust the God that's in my husband, just like he got to trust the God that's in me. And so if you don't have that kind of relationship, all I can tell you is you need to do whatever you got to do as graciously and kindly and sweetly, with the negligee as well. That helps to get it done. Because if not, you end up imploding, and now you're not mad at nobody really but yourself. You think you mad at him, but you're not mad at him. He said we was going to have this by now. He said I was going to have this by now. He said, right. But what did God say to you? What did he tell you? So you didn't obey what he told you to do, and now you want to take it out on him. And really, he didn't do nothing wrong. He was doing what he felt to do, but you weren't doing what you were supposed to do. Because a lot of the wealth that's coming, Dr. Dollar told us this, it was so good. He said the billion flow is coming, and more than likely it's going to come through Taffy. And I got to be okay with that. You see what I'm saying? I got to be okay with that. Now, again, your spouse may not be there, but I'm saying you don't miss this move, because the squeeze is happening in banking around the world. But while this squeeze is happening, this is the time where we will see the largest wealth transfer that the world has ever seen. So you can sit on the sidelines, you can make excuses for why why this, that, or you can say, all right, fine, show me how to get my credit good, show me the banks, point me to the banks. I'm coming to Detroit, I'm coming to Chicago, I'm coming to Atlanta, or I'm gonna be right here in South Carolina racking up some properties, but I'm not leaving 2023 without owning a property. That I'm not going to do, because you gotta set yourself up. Everything is a window and a time. And when you start seeing everything that can be squoze being squoze, that is your opportunity to move away from that squeeze and get into a flow of wealth. And so what happens is, the way you participate in this financial education here is basically you will get, I'm going to drop an application, okay, in the Telegram chat. Now, let me tell you the way that this works. So the way they have it is you got to at least get a couple of products to start, okay? But what I'm really excited for this team is the financial education, because when I say, like, everything that I have done has set me up to what I'm getting ready to do. And when I tell you the train is already left the track. So now it's just a matter, are you going to get on this train? And again, I love you either way. This is no pressure. I'm just telling you what's on me. And so that's why you're getting it the way that you're getting it, because I'm getting it straight from heaven. The time is now. Right? We can't wait another month. We're about to be in April in 2 seconds. So the time is now. You got to get that credit together so we can get you to the bank. And then you got to start finding out. And then you're going to get on these calls. And when I tell you this financial education, you will get real estate education every week. And when I tell you this boy, I won't call him a boy, he's a grown man, but this guy that I got teaching Phil at real estate, he got to be one of the coldest, most creative, deal structuring. I mean, you're going to learn everything that you need to learn about cap rates, financing, how to do short-term rental and Section 8, and maybe just some regular stuff all within the same entity. When I say you're going to learn everything that you need to learn from property management, from A to Z. When I say we going through the trenches on this thing, because the thing about it, when I look at and I talk to people who've been in real estate, and if you've been in a real estate conference, unmute. I want to hear from you. They're good, but they still don't take you to the finish line. This education that we about to give is about to take you to the finish line. When I say the finish line, I mean you signing on the dotted line, you saying I closed on this investment property, and then I'm closing on another, and then I flipped that one, I kept that one, but I did. I'm talking about finish line stuff. I'm not talking about you got some information, because knowledge and wisdom are two different things. Knowledge is I got the information. Wisdom is I'm about to apply that thing, and I'm gonna have somebody holding my hand every step of the way. The girl I got teaching mortgages, cold. The girl I got teaching credit. Now you think, because see, credit is not just about an 800 credit score. It's about the tools and how you can work in American Express, get a black card, use American Express to buy a card, use a Discover, pay it off, pay it. Like when I say it's so much in the money game that you're about to get, the credit, the systems. Camille is going to be teaching them systems. Oh my gosh, y'all already know. You talking about scaling your business. You talking about putting all this stuff in place. And what I love about what Camille's teaching, she's done it for me. She's worked with the property management. She's worked with the accounting firm, right? And we're not talking, Bill, what did my accountant say on the last call we had? Are you there? Is she still on here? Mill. She distracted. Where she went. I want y'all to hear this. So my point is that it's stuff that she's already done. So she's going to be giving you the systems, the analyzation, and it is continual, because I have to have a meeting with my accounting firm every single month to keep up with everything that we have going. So you're going to learn all of that. Then Keita going to get in here and do what she do best, which is helping you to market yourself, market your business, market whatever you're doing, but it's going to be weekly. So we about to come in on some intensity stuff, because we gotta pick up the pace. You see what I'm saying? The pace has to be picked up, and these are specialty things. See, it's one thing, because sometimes you can say, okay, you're gonna get a little bit of this, a little bit of that. Like the club is designed, you're gonna get a little bit of everything where money is concerned and wealth accumulation is concerned. But then it's like, okay, now let me go into another level of a specialty. And then let me have partners that have already done it. Let me have people that have already done these things and worked these things. And so anyway, that's all the things that you're going to get. Now, the package to get in is $1,200 one time. Just one time, $1,200, one time, $1,200. So one time, $1,200, that $1,200 basically puts you in a position, if you indeed decide to tell other people at any point, because the comp plan is it's the most aggressive I've ever worked with. And y'all know I made a lot of money in network marketing. This is a little bit different, because when I said we about to do some trench work. Now, the other thing is, if you don't want to build and you say, I want the financial education, but I don't want to build. The financial education by itself is just $50 a month. Okay, we're going to probably be right around there. We're still tweaking it, working with accounting, but I really think, because like I said, we haven't even announced this to the public. This is one of the benefits to being in the club, because remember, the most amount of money is to be made is always at the beginning of a thing. Okay, so the financial education itself is probably just going to be $50 a month. But you got to get a product. So if you want to do, so for example, like I'm a product of the product. I'm gonna show you guys. So I literally have been taking the detox tea. It is really good. I've done it for the last 2 nights. I'm gonna do it for 2 nights and then I'll be done. So this is the detox tea. Okay, right here. So you'll get this. And this is perfect because you need to be healthy anyway. And then this is the organic coffee right here, CBD. Okay. And then this is the multivitamin. Okay, valet 30, which is really good. And the mood enhancer, where are you? Okay, this is the mood enhancer, actually kind of helps with this extra, right? So you just take a shot of these every day. You can do it twice a day. My energy is definitely phenomenal. Yeah. And it's good. And so that's what I do. So with that, you can say, hey, I want to get, maybe one, you can literally just do one, product, one nutritional product for $49, which is the multivitamin. Or if you say, I want the detox tea too, and I want the coffee, you can do all of that for like $159. And then the financial educational part, that's not even available yet. IT and coding is still working on that. And so, but to just get started, to get your, lock your spot, so to speak, you can literally say, okay, I'm gonna come in, I just want one product, $49, or I want to do one, or one, $59. I want to do all three products. And you can change that, right? But if you wanted to just do bare basics, you can do $49 and then $50. But if you think you're going to tell anybody else, I would come in for $1,200, because that allows you to maximize the financial part. Now, good question. So the financial educational part includes how to use credit, how to leverage it, because I promise you, most people think they know, but there is like a whole nother world. Right. There are people like the Kiyosakis who have $1 billion worth of debt and have built, hundreds of millions of dollars in income from that $1 billion of debt. So you're going to learn all the creative ways to do it. Now, in terms of the credit itself, the credit analysis is about $200. That credit analysis, they'll be able to look at everything that's going on with your credit and tell you, okay, this is what we got to do and they'll give you a price. Price is going to be anywhere probably between $2,000 and $4,000, but it's happening in 90 days. Because when I say I'm not playing, when I say I am confessing that each of you owns investment property before you leave 2023, at least one. Some of you gonna come in and get some multiple units or some 2-family flats. But when I say real estate, it cannot be an option. It cannot. Because when I look at everything across the board, it's real estate. It's real estate. Now, is crypto still important? Absolutely. You see what I'm saying? Absolutely. So let me review. Okay. So again, you are going to get a nutritional product, which I think is great anyway. It works great. You feel great. You need to look great. That's important. I just got my blood work last week. I was so excited. Everything was good. My blood pressure, my cholesterol, my sugar. But y'all know I've been very, very much intentional about pulled out all the sodium, pulled out all the sugar, taking my detox, keeping this waistline together, right? Doing that detox tea, get ready for the summer so I can wear my little tank tops and little tummy out, right? All that together, right? So yes, the training does include land development. Absolutely. We actually have a bank that will give you money, because it used to be that if you wanted to develop land, Sharon, they only wanted to give you like a small portion. We actually have banks now that will give you a good percentage to develop that land. And then we can also lead you to the architects to help you with that too. So when I say we're doing real estate education, I'm saying from A to Z. And I'm saying the team that I have brought together, when I tell you they are the brilliant, they are in the genius. And I love it because they're so humble, so modest, like regular people, no ego. Like you wouldn't even know they moving like that. Like, especially Phil, when y'all meet Phil, y'all be like, he looked like a little kid, but he a grown man with a whole wife and everything, but he's so unassuming. So we got some real people with big, big hearts that really just want to make impact. Okay, so that's the part I'm really excited about. All right, does the investment property include your first home purchase, or is that properties you are looking to make income from? Excellent, Carolyn, you can do either one. We can help you get funding for your first home or your investment property. You know what I'm saying? You can literally do either one. I mean, the way I'm feeling these days, I'm like, get you a 2-family flat so you can live in one. Like when I say it's on me for y'all to get real estate, this is the other thing. I don't know if y'all looked at that, but I put an article in there saying African Americans have not grown in real estate at all, right? Over the last, like, since I think 1950 or something crazy. I'm like, what is going on out here in these streets? Did y'all read that article? Like, we got work to do. Like, this is not a game. We got work to do. For real. And that starts with us. We got to get the real estate ourselves. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, we got to go to work. We got to go to work. So if you did not read that in the I put it in the Telegram chat, please read that. Okay. Is financing available for all states? Abso-doggone-lutely. Absolutely, Carla. Yep, I'm in California and real estate here has not dropped much, if any. Yeah, and you know, there may be some places where you could go, like, you know, for example, if you look at LA, everything in LA is probably so crazy high, but then it may be, hey, let me go to the outskirts of LA. You know what I mean? Let me go to the outskirts of LA, or maybe look at Sacramento or San Francisco. I mean, we can always find a deal. Okay. Assistance to be provided in finding properties. So in those cities, yes. In those certain cities, yes. But what we will be doing is helping you to locate, because the key with finding properties is to find realtors that have relationships with properties that are off the market. That's really what you want. You want, and that's what we're going to help you do, is find, find those relationships with those realtors that, is off the market. I was trying to see if I can show you something. Because, like, for example, this is a property they helped me find. Mill, are you back yet? Will somebody try to call Camille again? Oh, wait, I'm going to call Auntie Jean. All right, so let me show you this real quick. 8, 5, 3. And I'm just showing everybody this. The team will probably get me for doing this, because they'll be like, you're too trusting. You show everyone.
Are you trying to call me for real?
Yeah, because we were calling you. Okay, tell me.
Sorry, I might have walked away. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. What did the accountant say that you were working with on about me on last week? I was telling them how you're going to be educating people on setting up their systems, and I was just, so proud of what you've been able to do with my entire brand and the empire that God has graced me with, and what you've been able to do, and you're going to be able to do that with other people. But what did the accountant say in that one moment? He's like, Jewel, do you remember what I'm talking about?
He said, I can't remember his exact verbiage, but he was just talking about all the money that you make.
Yeah.
Is that what you're talking about?
That's the part.
Yeah. And he was just like really just blown away with how well she diversifies and how she has all these income streams. I think she is one of his first clients that has been as well versed and diversified. Even and he's a white male. So he was very, like, y'all, she a boss. I'm telling y'all, follow the leader. Let's go.
Yeah, but praise God, because it's definitely just all grace. But did I want y'all to know that? Yeah, because I want you to understand, and I know y'all know that. That's why y'all here. You're not talking to somebody that's a novice. You see what I'm saying? Like, we walking in this thing, and there's a mandate on my life, and there's a mandate on a lot of your lives to help impact other people as well. And so Camille, she's used me as the guinea pig to build the brand, you know what I mean, from an operational standpoint. Now,
yeah, if I can do multi-millions, I think I'm locked and loaded and qualified for everything while I'm working on her billions.
Listen. Who is that?
Your daughter, Keita, you know who it
that's
is.
Kitty.
Keita, yes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. And I mean, Keita gonna come in here and talk to y'all about marketing.
Hey, shut it down. I'm shutting it down as an educator. You don't understand. Y'all don't understand how I'm about to help the masses. Y'all don't understand. I'm just grateful. Thank you, Lord.
Yeah. Oh no, and the thing is we've lived it. So we're not like, but you know, and y'all see this on social, a lot of people pushing a lot of stuff, but they not really living it. You know what I mean? And it's okay to want to be a boss and it's okay to portray a boss, but there is a difference sometimes between actually being one, like living that thing. And that's what we really want to make sure that is happening. And I wanted to make sure that Millionaires Club had the first, because honest to God, I took about, I don't know, 8-10 people, something like that to Houston. That was it. Nobody else. So you all are literally like y'all family. You know what I'm saying? And so you all literally are the first ones. I haven't gone on social with this. I mean, we're still, in the weeds with it, think tank, but that's when you want in. It's like getting in at the beginning of something really strong, like an apple, like dog, if I could have got in at the beginning. And so I just wanted to really come on here tonight and make sure every trainer has their own session. Yeah, every trainer will have their own session and you guys will have homework. It's going to be good. And if you can't make that session at that time, you can go back on and watch the replay. All right, so this says, is the training segmented so that portions not needed can be bypassed so that a person can jump in on portions of the training? Yeah, I mean, all the trainings are going to be is an hour and then like 15 minutes of Q&A. So the sessions aren't going to be long. So I hope that answers your question. So if you say, oh, from 10 minutes to 20 minutes, they talked about everything I needed to do, then just go back and listen to 10 to 20 minutes. Okay. All right. Are there any contacts international? I'm from Australia and New Zealand for real estate. Sorry if this question can be asked, just join call. Hi, Vanetta. Hi, beautiful. Thank you. We don't have any plans right now for international real estate, but the fact that you asked that, has me like, so let's, maybe we get some inroads internationally and do some things. But thank you for asking that, because I would definitely want you to be acquiring property in your area. That's for sure. So again, to recap, you would choose, what product vitamin you wanted. You could do, one product, $49, 2 products, $100, 3 products, $159. At financial education is probably going to be around $50. And that will be your monthly fee. So you can literally do, 1 product and then $50, $100 a month, not much at all every week. But it'll, put you in position to get the financial education every single week that's going to be happening. And like I said, when I say I brought on the best of the best, I brought on the best of the best. These people are all responsible for a lot of the success that I've had, and that I'm even having now, that I'm currently negotiating deals right now. And so that's basically like opening you up to all of that. All right, Lorette, yeah, baby, you have a question, Millionaires?
I have a question. Let me go ahead and unmute myself. Thank you so much for your wisdom and insight tonight on real estate. I have 2 questions. The first question is, when you become a full-time investor, how do you rent an apartment without those paycheck stub and those W-2s? And the second question is, how do you get a loan approved through the bank? Like, how do you get a conventional loan without those W-2s? Because when you go to rent an apartment, they always ask you to show proof that you're making at least 3 times the rent.
So you mean, how do you buy an apartment?
No, like, how do you rent an apartment without those like, how do you show proof? Because I went to New York 2 weeks ago and I was trying to rent a 1-bedroom, 1-bath apartment and it was $4,000 a month.
Okay.
It was $4,000 a month. And then they were asking me for proof that I'm making at least $16,000 a month.
Got it.
And I'm only making $12,000 a month as a pharmacist.
Got it. And you didn't have, and so you were saying, how do you rent it? So first of all, I prophesied you're going to be owning that apartment building. Okay. Because Lorette, that shift is happening. I speak that over you now, that you will be negotiating to buy the apartment building. Okay. Renting, it's probably going to just come down to you finding a landlord that will just take your bank statements and not W-2s, because there are landlords out there that do that. but I would definitely love to see you aggressively. You know, I don't know where your credit is, but I would love, hopefully you'll join the program. Love to see you get your credit together. If it's already together, let's get you funded and let's get you in a position of ownership. Anybody on here that's right now that's renting, I'm prophesying that you are not going into 2024 without ownership. Not only owning for yourself, but owning investment properties. This is where we are. I believe that what we saw in 2008 and 2009 with the crash was real estate then. I think real estate is still coming down, but now we're seeing a major banking, right? Banking is being hit on every side. And I don't think we've seen the end of what's going to happen with banks, right? And so I am like fervent about getting you all into ownership. Get serious about making sure you have cash on hand, whether it's $20 a week, $200 a week, put that money in your safe. And then also make sure, hopefully you are working on your gold and your silver. Those are the 3 top assets that the Lord is really talking to me about. And that's real estate, gold and silver, and making sure you keep cash on hand. Because we're going to be able to ride all these waves. Unfortunately, a lot of people are going to be hurt. But we're going to be in a position because we'll have the credit and we'll have the funding that we'll be able to come in and take advantage of foreclosures and short sales. And that's what we did in this beautiful 13,000 square foot home that we live in. We bought it in 2007. It was a foreclosure, you know, and that's how we got it. Ended up getting a really good deal. So now the deals are getting ready to happen like that again. They're going to come fast and they're going to come furious. And I need all you prepared. And that's why being, you know, having your credit together. But to answer your question, you would just have to find a find a landlord that will just allow you to use your bank statements and not W-2.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely, Dow. With your new real estate, invest in self in Jesus' name. All right, somebody else. Any other questions?
Dr. Jewel.
Hi.
Hello, this is Kathy Cunningham, and I would like to know if you can give some more information in reference to the $1,200 one-time package, what all that entails.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. So the $1,200 pack, that's the pack I definitely recommend. It's going to give you all of the nutritional products and position you, to be one of the founding members, really, because that's really what's happening. Right now, you'll be a founding member, and then it will also position you to get the financial education. What will probably end up happening is you may have to, we're going to get ready to launch pretty soon. I mean, we're like within a couple of weeks, which is why I'm talking to you all so fervently about it, because I want you to hear this before everybody else hears it. But yeah, so that basically will position you to get ready to get all of the financial education. So then what would happen, it'd be $1,200 one time, Kathy. Then after that, 30 days from now, next month, you will choose whatever you want your auto ship to be. So if you say, I'm doing financial education and I want to do 2 products. So you might be at $100 a month, or you might be at $120 a month, depending on how many products you want. Right. But I love the fact that we're able to keep the monthly low. So it's just a one-time, look at it as a one-time investment to be able to maximize, all of the comp plan if you decide to tell other people, and then say, okay, after that, I want to be at 150 a month, or I want to be at 100 a month. So depending on which one you want to do. So if you like at 150 a month, that's like 3 products. That's like the multivitamin, the detox tea, and the coffee. And I definitely recommend being on that detox tea, because I'm not just saying this, I can tell a difference in my stomach. Like, it gets rid of all the little extra little bloatiness, because it's soft. It's not a laxative, it is a detox. I actually had my doctor and my nurse who gives me IVs look at it. She said, no, I love these ingredients, because I'm real funny about colon cleansers, because I don't want anything with a laxative, because it can cause your colon to be sluggish over time. She's like, no, this stuff is really good. This is smooth. She said, you could do this once or twice a week if you wanted to, which I probably would only do it like twice a month, just to make sure I stay, nice and flat and cleaned out, keep that colon healthy. The Black Bank owner. Yes, the Black Bank owner, Bernicia, she is a part of the team. Yep. She is a part of the team. She is. So it's $1,200 one time. And then if you do one product, it's $100 a month, right? You want to do two products, you know, it'd be like 120. You want to do three products, it'd be like 150, 159, something like that. So that's exactly right, Brenda. And yeah, any other questions? Mill or Keita, anything else that I may have missed? Any questions from anyone?
Hey, Dr. Well, it's Janelle. So my question is, so, you know, with God's grace, my credit is pretty good. But if I were to buy a investment property, ideally, I would be thinking I'd want it in the name of my business, which is owned by the trust.
Yes.
Is that something? So then in that case, I guess I wouldn't want to use my own credit. Is that something that you would do, like business credit for a business owned by the trust as well?
Yeah, that's exactly what we're going to be doing. We're going to be helping you get your personal credit together, but your personal credit is already together, so you wouldn't need that. But then we would help you get a business credit together so that we can go ahead and have you approved for $500,000, $1 million, 100,000, or whatever in your business name. So yeah, you're exactly right. And we definitely would help you. And like I said, when I say we got the best of the best of the best, that can help you do your thing, and everybody has a great heart, they're humble, they're hungry, and they've all had a lot of success. And that's what I was looking for when I was building the team. Like, God, you know, bring us people that are geniuses so that these ladies and men can get real results. Like I said, I see all of you sitting down at the title company, signing the docs or doing electronic sign on your phone. I mean, I want testimonies pumping through this bad boy, like, yep, just bought an apartment building. Yep, just bought a duplex. Because I promise you, next year, this is the time, you're gonna be like, I'm so glad that you got so fervent on us owning real estate. I think it is now more critical than ever. And we got to get as much as we can this year. Not that it's not going to be available next year, but I think it's going to really position us to really be able to ride any economic downturn. All economic downturns will turn into economic increase for us. Every economic downturn will turn into major, major increase for us because we know how to move, we understand the language, and we know what's happening. Because while they saying, oh yeah, we're not worried about big banks, don't worry about it. I'm like, how could you be so calm? They're just trying to prevent another bank run, because anytime there's a bank run, it'll shut down any entity, whether it's Silicon Valley, Bank of America, Comerica. It would totally destroy the entire infrastructure of the banking system in America. Now, will that happen? You know, with all banks? I don't think it's going to happen with all banks, but I definitely think we're going to see a few more banks. And the thing about it is everything has a ripple effect. And that's what I'm really like, wait, y'all, what are y'all talking about? We can't be sitting back. Everything has a ripple effect. So in 2007 and 2008, when those banks started calling those notes, when that thing happened with Bernie Madoff, you see what I'm saying? Bernie Madoff, that started a whole ripple effect. So banks started collapsing, closing countrywide. They all started just going out because he had such a foothold on the economic industry and in banking. And so a lot of people who didn't know how to move, they were losing. And we were blessed back then in 2007, my husband and I, to be able to come in and, you know, scoop up this house and do some other things that propelled our wealth. And so I'm like, you know, that little girl on the horse, like, hey, look over here. The money's over here. Come over here and play. We're going to be more than fine, right? But we can't just sit back and do nothing, right? So yes. That to answer your question, yes, we will get your business credit together, and then we will, you know, put you, Bernice is who we're going to be working with. Absolutely, Steph. One of the banks, we got a couple banks we're going to be working with, but she's one of them for sure. Excited about that. So did that help answer your question, Janelle?
Hi, Julie Carla, Dr. Julie Carla. Not a question, but just a comment. And I thought that I put it in the chat before, but I did just drop it in the Millionairess Chat now, where I had gotten a video a couple of weeks ago, and it talked about that, where the banks were going to be basically collapsing, the potential collapse. Anyway, I did just drop it in the chat, so you guys can watch that when you get a chance.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, no, absolutely. It's all very much potential, very much. Okay, good. Okay, Janice, that's awesome. So our real estate, our financial division, period. Remember, it's not just real estate. Okay, it's going to be trust, it's going to be credit, it's going to be systems, analytics, accounting, marketing. Like, it's going to be all of that every week. So good job on being in that real estate class. I think that's great. We'll probably be looking at a hard launch date. It'll be sometime in April. But good job in going through that that investment program. Good job on that. All right. Anybody else? Questions? Who thinks they're ready to join us? Who thinks they're in? Just put some ones
Can
in
I
the
say
chat.
something real quick, Dr. Jewel?
Yes.
Hey, everyone. Like, I'm really excited, like, for just the opportunity. It's one thing that I want you guys to really think about that is extremely important is that with what is about to get ready to happen, I want you to think about all of the time and the years that you've been a part and been in within the Millionaires Club, and how the information that you've been able to gain, your family's been able to increase, your mindset, all of that has been able to grow, and how God has positioned, you know, your leader, Dr. Jewel, your mentor, to be able to be now take that same concept, information on a global scale, to where now not only are you being a benefactor of it at an even larger scale, but you get the ability and the opportunity to be able to be partakers and be able to help to position other people. I want you to think about it from this angle. Let's say you're having lunch or dinner with a friend and she's like, oh my God, I need, you know, business funding. Oh, Tavaverse has that for you. There's the answer. Now you're the plug. You see what I'm saying? And now next thing you know, she has funding. Oh, you may be sitting with somebody else and said, look, I want to be able to grow my business on social media. Up, we have marketing and educators that's just strictly for that. Tavaverse. It's a one-stop shop. And then you're like, maybe I'm sitting with somebody and it's like, oh girl, I want to lose weight. I want to do XYZ, right? Oh, Tavaverse. Because see, the beautiful thing about what we've created and put together is that we're merging the two together. We're merging health, and we're also merging wealth at the exact same time. You see what I'm saying? And so this is the beautiful thing about what's getting ready to actually take place. And I want to make sure that you guys understand what Dr. Jewel is giving you guys access to be able to be a part of, because it has never been done in the history of business, period. Really being able to take this exact same model and allow you guys to not only be participants, but to also help the masses of people be able to experience the entire pie, the financial pie, the health, all of that attached together. So it is massive and it is major. I would highly recommend, you know, everyone participating and getting aboard, putting the one in the chat saying, absolutely sign me up for the Christian Jubilee, because this is it, baby. You know what I'm saying? Dr. Jewel gave the example, like at the end, what is the comp plan? We will begin to share all that with you. It's like everything is in the works. This is why let me tell you something. This isn't just something where it's like, oh, I'm jumping in and it's a part of somebody that is a distributor and you're just in the mix of it. We are the creators. You understand what I'm saying? You are attached to the creator, to the educator. So it puts you at a position that many would never experience before the shaking of the launch happens. You see what I'm saying? We will become the one-stop shop for the entire world. You see what I mean? I get the opportunity to come back and teach people in the industry that I've been in for 15 years how to go out and market their business successfully, whether it's network marketing, whether it's your current business. You see what I'm saying? And you all be like, oh, we got the perfect educator for you to be able to tap over into and participate. You know what I mean? So when I tell you what she is presenting to this club is massive and major, and no one else has had the opportunity to hear what you guys are hearing right now firsthand. So I would literally count it an honor and just blow up the chat for her right now with a bunch of flames and fires, because you are the first participants, her club, outside of even her top core. You see what I'm saying? They get the opportunity to put some flames in the chat, because it's a major financial move, major financial gain. Blow up the chat. Everybody in here should be blowing up the chat. You see what I'm saying? Blow it up, because this is major. Let me tell you something. It's not, I had to get on camera. let me tell you something. When God puts your name and he positions you guys been a part of this club because you've seen the benefit that the not only just the anointing that this woman carries on her life, but you stay consistent. You've seen fruit. Many of you guys seen fruitful gains where their mindset is concerned, whether your finances are concerned. You have tapped over into real estate. It's not a coincidence that you are a part of the Millionaires Club. You understand what I'm saying? Many people ask me all the time, Marquita, you see success. Why is it that you continue to keep on participating with everything Jewel has? I said, I will always be a shoestring to her shoe for the rest of my entire life and continue to push her vision. You understand what I'm saying? It doesn't matter how many billions and millions I make. I will continue to push the vision of this woman, you know what I'm saying, to fruition and to the forefront. And it's the same thing that I'm saying for you all. Although this opportunity is being presented to you, don't you dare turn around and remove yourself from the Millionaires Club and think that I'm just going to go over here to this and not participate in both. Do not disconnect yourself. She is giving you an opportunity to take you and your family's financial gain to a whole nother level and participate in something that is going to be extremely massive for you and for everybody else that's connected to you on a global massive scale. You stay connected to this club and you stay connected to the next move that she is about to get ready to call for this club. When I tell you the testimonials that's getting ready to come up out of this club, we've been confessing it for years and years, and we've seen success. But let me tell you, don't have analysis paralysis. Don't be trying to figure it out. Don't be trying to do all that, because let me tell you something. It is Holy Ghost led, and we are just moving by the Spirit. We are in position. We are doing things, and God is just orchestrating our steps. He's telling us to do this. He's telling us to do this, and we're doing it, and we're moving, and we don't know all of the steps in place. But what we do know is that we're hearing from Him, and you guys are on something, about to become a part of something that is going to be massive. So I'm going to say it again. Make sure you keep your first thing the first thing, your connection to this club. And once this next thing pops or happen, you tie your connection there, but do not disconnect. You stay connected, continue to keep staying connected, and continue to keep on flowing. And just know that we love you guys, and the best is already here. It's time to really go make massive impacts. And we're doing it on both scales. So that's all I have to say, Dr. Jewel. I'm excited about it. I'm excited about it. And I'm telling you, when you get your people on this particular platform with me, they growing all the way up in their personal business, whether it's in network marketing, whether it is them growing their own business in itself. They got the right educator. Do you understand me? Okay, because everybody that's going to be a part of it and all of the people that Dr. Jewel has lined up for you, let me tell you, has been tested and vetted. And they ain't just people in here that's speaking and talking a good game. You understand what I'm saying? There's fruit on their life. There's evidence. And that's a big, big, big difference. That's why her name was picked and chosen out of many that could have had this same spot and opportunity to be able to position the rest of the world. That was because she has fruit and evidence and consistency on her life. And everybody that she has attached to it as an educator has had the opportunity to do the same. So Dr. Jewel, I'm gonna pass it back to you.
That was
it's
so
about
good.
to go down.
That was so good. When we were in Houston, Keita, we were literally sitting at, it was a day of history. It was a day the history was made. We were sitting at, it was really a miraculous table. It really was.
Oh my God.
And I think being aware of that. And so, you know, just me, because this was not a fast decision. Guys, this opportunity came to me in November last year. And I really needed to go before the Lord, you know, and just flush it out and say, is this what I'm supposed to be doing?
Yep.
And so this was not a fast decision. I had, you know, they kept calling. I was like, okay, was honored, but I was like, I got to make sure. And then, I don't know, it just kind of, then it kept coming back into my heart. And even my husband was like, babe, Ben's first response was do it. So I knew, I was like, oh, and you be the careful one. He be the one that, man, you ain't gotta do that. He quick to be like, well, I ain't gotta do, which I love that about him. But he said, no, I think you should do it. And so now the more we get into it, the more I'm like, oh, we're about to really make history, because this is the other thing that we're doing. And what we're going to be doing is not just educating, but we're at ground level. Like, we're going to be like, pull up on us in New York. You know how we do the exposure trips, but it's going to be specifically looking in these neighborhoods.
Yep.
in buying a restaurant or buying an office building or buying commercial property, buying like equip, because you got the funding. It ain't gonna just be I'm believing. You finna go in, your credit together, and the money is just waiting for you to find the doggone property. The faith trips were amazing, but now we going in ready to put the offer in on the deals. That's the difference. Because you're gonna be equipped with the money to do it. Okay. So and there are seasons in your life where Holy Spirit says stretch. We cannot have a mentality of either or. It's and also. Because I don't know any other way to go to the next level, but it's gonna cost you something.
Absolutely.
You can't think that I'm gonna just keep operating. This is what I've been doing. This is what I've been doing. And you know what? God allows us to do that for a while, but then it comes a time like, okay, chick, rubber done met the road. I'm calling forth a stretch.
Yeah, because you know what? It's time out for playing it safe. We're in a season to where it's not time to play it safe anymore. We've been so conditioned to, okay, I'm going to put one toe in, 1 foot out, and I'm going to give it 30 days and see if it works. And if it doesn't produce the way I think, then I'm going to back up a little bit. Like when you posted about the whole the African-American community with the housing situation, that literally was that's an eye-opening moment. You know what I'm saying? When they talked about that, about the African-American community, to where, you know, the percentage of them being able to purchase homes within since 2020 until now, how the Caucasian community has skyrocketed in home ownership, and our people has yet to tap. Like, that's major. That's like financial signs that we need to look at and say, okay, listen, I don't need to be sitting back just saying, okay, playing it safe. I need to be going all the way in. I need to be taking massive action on things. Even if I'm tapping over on here, I'm tapping in here. Let me tell you something. There's things that I've been in the works doing for over 15 years that has resurfaced back around because of my consistency. If I can put in the work for 15 years doing something, and 15 years later, because now I had positioned myself to develop in the thing that was coming up the pipeline, why is it that we give things 30 days and we feel like because it hasn't produced yet or hasn't done, that I'm up and out? It's a trick of the enemy to continue to keep us in a position of where we always gonna have a lack mentality. When you around thrusters and you around people that are go-getters, you start just prioritizing and position things in a different way, because you like, I want to make sure that my name is in the number. I want to make sure that I'm positioning myself. So that means I'm not going to be in here, you know what I'm saying, just spinning and going and doing, because why? I'm running with a wealth group. You guys are attached to a wealth group. That means when you attach to thrusters, a thruster is always going to throw some things your way. You better be prepared, and don't be looking at the neighbor to the right or to the left to see if she or he is going to take advantage, because you when you got a part of the thrust group, you already told yourself, I'm ready for whatever's coming. You get what I'm saying? I don't have to sit back and ask. I already done seen the manifestation, the fruit on the individual's life that is my mentor. Let me tell you something. Dr. Jewel comes with me with everything. I be looking at her, I be like, listen, let's go. I'm not asking no questions. My time up from asking questions are over. Everything that I've ever put my hands to, whether the fruit came and it was a flop or a fluke, I learned something from it, and I'm ready to get back in the game all over again. Because see, one thing, God blesses through man, and you don't want to be at the table and don't even get the call, and you sitting at the table because you too scary to jump in on something. But you signed up to be a part of the wealth group. You signed up to be a part of the thruster club. This is the thruster club. Dr. Jewel is the thruster. You understand what I'm saying? She's going to always, because God has positioned her in this space to turn around and bring financial wealth to the body. That's the anointing that she carries on her life. She is not going to stay in one place. And if you are uncomfortable and you can't do it, this is not the place for you, because within the club, this Millionairess Club, you're going to always take advantage of opportunities. That's why I say blow this chat up for this woman. Pray for her every single day. Thank God, because nobody has to tell you anything. Do not have to give you wealth secrets and strategies and tools to be able to help take your family to a whole nother level. They don't necessarily have to do it, but she has a different mandate on her life. So that's why I'm like, I really need you guys to understand that this is not the season to disconnect from anything that God told you to connect to. If he told you to connect to anything, you stick that thing out and you wait, because what's going to happen, a breaking is going to happen. A breaking is going to happen in your non-consistency, because you've been so used to detaching yourself when something doesn't seem like it works. I'm running in the next 30. I'm removing myself in the next 60. I'm removing myself in the next year because it did not happen for me. Oh, I got a oopsie. I'm gonna back up. Don't back up. You lean in. I learned to lean in everything when it seemed hard, when I hit an L, when I lose. I'm not successful in the things that I've done just because I was consistent in it. I stay consistent and I'm still consistent. You understand what I'm saying? And so now when I tie myself to other thrusters like a Jewel Tanker and many other individuals, I'm prepared. Let's run the play. Let's go, coach. She is your coach. She is your mentor. She's not going to just bring something to you guys to make it seem like, oh, I just need you to be a part so you can push me up. That's not her mentality. That's not her mindset. That's not even her heart. You get what I'm saying? So she's doing it so that way it can be something that say, yep, I'm about to run the play and my family is about to become financially wealthy because of the decisions that I made. So you guys, I'm just excited. It's about to be amazing. We're about to make history. The club is about to make history. You are about to make history. All your visions, your goals, your dreams, your desires, everything. Only thing I'm telling you once again is that whatever plays are being made and how many millions and billions you choose to make, you're going to always need a coach. And you better stay connected to this club. No matter what plays are being ran and how many millions and billions you make, stay connected to the coach. Stay connected to the person that has positioned you. So just know I love y'all. Peace.
That was good. That was Holy Ghost. No, we're disruptors. And what happens is God will anoint you to do multiple things. I am probably more fruitful than I've ever been. Keita and Mill, they travel with me. I was just in Detroit. They see the projects are coming faster than they ever have. Now, it doesn't mean you're going to do every project, but a lot of the projects that are coming, it's like, yes, 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 because that's the season that we're in, but you got to be open to take the opportunities. If you're not open to take the opportunities, if you're not dependable and not responsible, you're not going to get the opportunities. So again, we're not just going to be educating you. We're going to be on the ground, like meet us here. Let's pull up. Let's go to this neighborhood. Let's walk in this house. Let's talk to this contractor, right? We on that. I'm not just going to give you a bunch of information. I want to make sure we walking and talking, because a lot of times it's in the private conversations. It's in a private conversation while everybody else looking through the house, you standing out in the garage talking to the real estate educator, or while everybody else is maybe in the backyard, you get a 5-minute conversation with Keita, or you get a 5-minute conversation with Mill, or it's not always just the stuff that's out front. It be in the backdrop. You know what I'm saying? It be in the backdrop, like, ooh, that was $1 million conversation. That just made me 10 million, right there. That just made me 10 million. So everything is about collaboration. Jesus was all about collaboration. I mean, he was a man, walked in the earth, but he still had 12 disciples, and each of them, he brought the best of the best. They weren't perfect. They all had their issues, but he brought that genius in, and they were able to change the world. And so you are an economic disruptor. If you're in the club, it's because you're an economic disruptor. You're not in this club, even if you don't realize you're an economic disruptor, you are. You would not even be attracted to nothing I offered if you were not. You are a stretcher. He's called you to stretch. That's why you're here, right? So yes, Angela said, thank you, Keita. Yes, bless you. That was powerful. All right, so guys, I'm going to drop the application. Now listen, I'm going to drop the application in the Telegram chat. Get the application back to me or Keita or Mill within the Telegram. Personally, send it to us. I recommend, if you want to be a part of the founding members, okay, then that needs to be in by Wednesday. Okay. If you come in after Wednesday, we still love you. But if you want to be in on the founding members, you need to have that application in by Wednesday. Some of you are going to send it tonight, right? Because it's just quick. Name, address, phone number, email, your credit card information. And just write on there, if you're doing the $1,200 PAT, okay, or if you want to do $100 pack. Okay, you can do 100, 200, 300,
Hey, Dr. Jewel.
500, 1,000. Yeah, 1,200. Yes.
Hey, have everybody, those who are doing it, put on there which package you want. Don't put your credit card information when we're entering you in the system. We'll call you and just take your card over the phone so
Okay.
that you don't have it floating around like that.
Okay, great. And put what pack, and then if you want to use credit, we have a credit company that you can get. They'll approve you. They don't even do a hard credit pull. They'll do a soft credit pull just by using your cell phone number, and they'll let you know what you're approved for. So they might say 300, they might say 500, they might say 1,200. That's especially for the ones that, are trying to do the 1,200, but you like, hey, I'm in between millions right now, and you just pay them back. Okay. And again, it's a soft pull, it's not a hard pull, and they'll let you know within 5 minutes as soon as you fill it out. As soon as you fill out the Sezzle link, they're going to tell you in 5 minutes if you're approved or not. Okay. Like you said, you don't have to worry about putting your credit card number on there. We'll get back to you and get that when we get ready to pull it. Okay. Any questions? I know it's a lot tonight.
Dr.
Yes.
Joe, sorry, this is Rhonda. I think I'm a little confused. So you're providing an opportunity for us to come in, you say on ground level of this new opportunity business, and that's going to be 1,200. And then we can.
Okay, so stop there. So it's 1,200 for those of you who think you would tell, if you think you'll ever tell anybody, do the 1,200 pack. If you don't think you'll tell anybody, you could do $159, which will get you 3 products. In a minute, we're going to be adding on the financial educational part for $50. That's probably going to be the financial educational monthly cost will be $50. And you have to do at least 1 nutritional product. So your monthly might be 100 or 150, depending on how many products you want. The 1,200 is a one-time purchase. I highly recommend it if you think you're going to ever tell anybody at all. The compensation plan is extreme. It is the most lucrative that I've ever been a part of. Honest to God, I would not say that if I didn't mean it. The most lucrative I've ever been a part of in my entire MLM existence. But again, some of you aren't going to tell anybody. If you're not, you can just get a nutritional product and, be it $100 or $150 a month, depending on what nutritional products you want.
So the 1,200 would be if we're going to share the other nutritional product offers with other people. Or is that the education? No.
Okay, very good question. So if you're going to share with other people and it gives you all of the nutritional products, the following month, you can say, I just want to be at 100 a month, so then that would give you 1 nutritional product and the financial education. So the 1,200 is just a one-time piece. And if you like, I want to be a founding member, and I think I am going to want to tell it, because this is the thing. If you don't come in at the 1,200, you'll never be able to maximize the comp plan until you hit another rank. So what I'm trying to do is position everybody as founding members, and I'm trying to position you as to get the maximize the comp plan in the beginning, because they only give you 30 days to do it. So if you want to come in at $500 today, they give you 30 days to do the difference of $700. So you can do that too. I'm glad I thought about that. So you can do 500 today, and you could do 700 in 2 weeks or 3 weeks. They give you 1 month to do it. Okay. But that $1,200, you only have one time. You only have the first 30 days to do that. If you miss that, you could still come in at the 150 a month or 100 a month, but you wouldn't be able to have a maximum comp plan.
Okay. Yeah, because that's where I think I was just confused with wanting to be a founding member, but don't know necessarily if you're going to bring anyone else in at this time. And I'll just speak for myself, even, with the other thing that we're involved in with the group. I've told people about that and got them on certain calls, but no one has really bit. So I'm like,
got it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right. Are you really going to write? So then if I don't know if I'm really telling anybody, I would say just come in at 159,
But does that still give me the founding member?
You would still be a founding member, yes. Yes, you just wouldn't have the maximum you wouldn't have the maximum on the building part, but I wouldn't worry about the building part based on what you're saying. You could just come in at 159 and that still makes you a founding member.
Okay.
Mhm.
Dr. Jewel, how you doing? I have a question. Will there be any teaching, educating, or any involvement also with the with private funding, or it's all going to be based off, teaching and helping us to level up credit wise, personally, and the business end? But I'm talking about with the
no, baby, we got the banks. We got the banks backing us. That's what I'm saying. That credit together, you gonna get funding. You can get funding personally. You can get funding business-wise. No, that's why I'm so excited. That's why I can speak with so much confidence. We got the backs. We got the banks in our pocket. They are ready to give y'all the money once the credit is.
And it is literally as low as a 580 credit score funding for properties, all kind of stuff. So it's pretty dope. You know what I mean? So yeah, so like what Dr. Drew was saying, whether or not if you feel like I want to get in and I want to run strong with this thing and I want to be able to help position other people that want to purchase a property this year or want to do any of that, then this would be the perfect opportunity for them. And yes, if that's you thinking that, then yeah, of course, coming with the 12 so that way you can run strong. But if you like, yo, even if I get in at the $100 or the $200 level, you still have a bit opportunities in the future to be able to get to those percentages as you continue to keep on building. So we don't want to make anyone feel as if you're pressured or anything like that. You pick based on the information we just provided with you, because remember, we're still building things on the back end to be able to present to you guys from a structure standpoint, because we are creating a platform from scratch. You see what I'm saying? From this. So you'll start receiving more from compensation, payouts, to all that stuff that's coming up the pipeline. Right now, what we're doing is creating and getting all of our founding people in position. So when we launch it to the world, you're in position as many other people start to come in and you start becoming a benefactor. Okay.
Yeah, that was good, Keita. And somebody, okay, let's see. Paula said, so to get information, education for purchasing real estate properties, is that included in the financial educational packet? Absolutely, Dow. You get the credit, you get the funding, you get the where to buy, off market, all of that. So yes, that's the sweet sauce. And the bank's ready to give you that money. That's the big deal. Okay.
Hey, Dr. Jewel, it's Amanda.
Hey, girl.
Hey, I just wanted to ask a clarifying question. So you were saying just a few moments ago about it not being a hard inquiry, about it being like a soft pull based on your number. Is that for the approval rates if you want to get funding for like real estate investing? I just want to make sure I was clear on what that was.
That's just for the packages. So if you say, I want to use credit for the packages, then they'll use your cell phone number and they'll give you a number in 5 minutes. And so drop those packages in there. So you might say, hey, I think I might tell people, so I know I want to do the 1,200. Or if you say, no, I don't think I'm going to tell anybody, but I do want to use those nutritional products. I want to try, 4 of them. I'm going to do the $200 pack, but I don't want to pay it out of my pocket. You can use Sezzle as the name of the company to get the approval.
Okay.
And they'll tell you in 5 minutes. Like as soon as you click the link, put in your information, they're going to take your cell number and say, yep, you just got approved for 1,200 or you just got approved for 300. It'll let you know right away.
Okay. So it's for the packages. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Okay. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Hey, Dr. Jewel, I have a quick question.
Hey, Charles, 1 second, babe. Okay, once you pay the 12, you still pay the 100 per month. Yes, that's for the ongoing education and for one product. Yes. Okay, go ahead, babe. Go ahead, Charles.
How do they help you build your credit?
So we have a credit company that does a credit analysis first for $200. The education that you're going to get on credit is all the different ways that credit affects your life and how you can use it. Everything from building a team, paying your employees. I mean, there's so much that credit can do that most people have no idea. So that ongoing education happens every week. If you say, hey, I want a credit analysis, it's $200. After they do the credit analysis, then they're going to tell you exactly what needs to happen with your credit. And within about 90 days, we should be able to get you a 700 plus score. Like Keita said, the bank will approve you at 580, but we really want to get you over 700 because I want to make sure that you're put in a position to pay the least amount of interest. The lower your credit score, the more your interest will be. The higher your credit score, the less your interest will be. So I hope
Okay,
that.
great. I'm already at about a 650. So
Oh, that's real good. That's real good.
okay.
So that's, yeah, that'll be good. We'll get you right on over to 750, 800.
All
What is
right, thanks.
Absolutely, honey. What is the average funding amount for real estate properties? I mean, she could give 100,000, 500,000, $1 million. It really depends on your credit already. And what happens is we want to find the property ideally. So it'd be good to say, hey, I found this property at, 234 Austin Street, and and it's 300,000. And I have a vision, it's not rented right now, but I have a vision to, renovate it and put 4 tenants in it. I'm going to add on a laundromat. Like a lot of times banks, even if a bank tells you no initially, if you give them the vision that you have for that property, they will come in and approve that. And so we help you with that. So when people get no to banks, it's just because they don't know how to have a conversation. Because if the bank has the vision, you are probably going to get a yes. If you give them a vision, you're probably going to get a yes. Okay, I see Stephanie send me a telegram like I'm ready to go. Yes, girl. Yep, it's 100 a month, or you could do more if you want more products. Any other questions? I know we've been on a lot later tonight, but we're making history. Any other questions?
So the 1,200 that's for future comps. And we have to purchase at least one product and then the 50 for the educational piece each month.
And then that'll be a month. So your minimum a month will be $100 if you wanted to just do one product.
Okay.
Yeah, good question. I have 2 buildings I need the money to renovate. I'm definitely interested. Absolutely, Kanisha. Absolutely. We're going to teach all of that, baby. Get you funding for that. Okay. And congratulations on owning 2 buildings. I love that. All right. I think that is all. I love you guys. Have a great night. Dr. Judd, you said coffee has CBD in it. What exactly does it do? It's an organic coffee. So, mental cognitive function, clarity of thought, those are kind of the main properties. So yeah, it's good too. It tastes good. So if you're a coffee drinker, it's better to drink organic coffee for sure. It probably needs some renovation with bank finance. Yes, absolutely. Yep, especially if we can find that we got some equity in that property. Okay. All right, this was great. I'm excited. Okay, we're gonna drop these packages in the Telegram chat. And then we are going to love you guys much. And then we'll send the application. So like I said, try to get it filled out if you would like to be a founding member by Wednesday and send it over. So you can be a part of the founding member. Okay. All right. Love you guys. Have a good night. Bye-bye. See you later.
Good night. Thank you, Dr. Jewel.
Bye-bye. Love y'all. See ya.
Good night. Thank
Good
you.
night.
Love you
Good
too.
night. Thank you so much.
Love y'all.
Good night.
Thank you.
Good night. Bye-bye.
Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.